Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. I would like to start this session by appreciating you for supporting this channel. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Now, there is someone that I'd like us to talk about in this channel, and this is none other than CHERUIYOT. So now, CHERUIYOT, we know that is a senator for UDA, and there are specific reasons why I choose to bring CHERUIYOT in this analysis. So CHERUIYOT went to his Twitter handle and posted a tweet, and this tweet was directed at Azimio, and it was a specific reference in the proposed finance bill. So CHERUIYOT has a disturbing message that he intended to channel it to Azimio, but little did he know that the netizens were awake and had harsh words for his tweet. So I have this tweet that I'd like to share with you, and then also I have a video of CHERUIYOT when he was making sense. I think that is back then when they used to fight Uhuru-Raila. Back then they made a lot of sense. That back then CHERUIYOT mentioned certain things that he ought to have remembered. So I have a video that I'd like to share with you. But first and foremost, I would like to read this tweet that has backfired. This tweet from CHERUIYOT has literally backfired. So this is what CHERUIYOT had to say. Where is Azimio's counter-proposed finance bill? Would like to see how they would avoid a debt default, grow the economy, fund development, fund counties, avoid borrowing, and lower taxes at the same time. That is a tweet that CHERUIYOT posted at, I think that was yesterday at 1:45 p.m. The date is 7th of June 2023. And at the time of reading this tweet, it had 141 retweets, 32 quotes, and 898 likes. But then CHERUIYOT was met by so many responses, and these were not good responses. So there is a Twitter response by the name Jau Wainaina. Jau Wainaina said, people in Azimio ruled Kenya for 10 years. They handled all the issues you people are crying about with depth and precision. Life was certainly not a walk in the park, but at least much better than it is now. In addition, they built a lot of infrastructure for prosperity. That is the end of the tweet. Then there is another tweet from Evans Waf. Evans Waf says, which party was RUTO in when he was DP for 10 years? Then Ocheng Malo says, did you guys present counter-proposed BBI bill? And then another Twitter handle by the name Kanyi Alex says, government to propose bills, opposition and Kenyans oppose. Then Evans Waf says, why should Azimio have a counter bill? Then there is another Twitter handle by the name Duke of Igembe, I think. He says, 1. Do away with unnecessary positions like the CS positions. 2. Fold unnecessary government entities to minimize spending. 3. Cut on unnecessary publicity, spending on unnecessary foreign tours. 70% of government foreign tours. Fight corruption and recover stolen public resources. These are just some of the Twitter responses that I've sampled. These are respondents to what CHERUIYOT says. So CHERUIYOT met this backlash from the tweet that he posted, and I think the intention of CHERUIYOT was to create a bad picture on regarding Azimio, but little did he know that the netizens were not happy with him, especially after the video that I'm going to share with you. There is a video that I'm going to share with you, and that video, CHERUIYOT wondered why the government back then was putting more tax on fuel, why the government back then was not considering the high cost of living. That is what Aaron CHERUIYOT wondered. But let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, all these people in Kenya Kwanza, they were wondering why the cost of living was skyrocketing. They kept blaming Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta. They kept, even when Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta talked about Ukraine as being the issue why some prices were affecting the country, they said that's not the reason why. The reason was that Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta was not able to run the country. So those are some of the things they said. They even talked about COVID, that COVID was not the reason. But the funny thing is that William Samoei Ruto one day, when he was, I think, in the US, he was hosted in Al Jazeera, but the funny thing is that he made the similar remarks that Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta made last year in April, when Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta said that the reasons why the cost of living was affecting Kenyans because of Ukraine. The second thing was because of that COVID-19 pandemic. But back then, William Ruto disputed that. But then he used the same remarks to say that that is the reason why Kenyans were suffering. So I want to share with you a video from Aaron CHERUIYOT. I want you to listen what Aaron CHERUIYOT said. That's when you understand that these people in Kenya Kwanza, they're just doing politics. This is just pure politics because they keep jumping from one goalpost to another. Today they talk about A, the next minute they talk about B. When Kenyans want results, they keep referring to the economy as they were left with an economy that was rotten. But here, they implement policies which they fought. They fought the increment of taxes. Now they are doing exactly that. In fact, the issue of this housing levy, I don't want to talk about it much because I've been talking about it lately. But during Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta's tenure, it was proposed to be 1.5%. But these people have given it 3%. That is twice what Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta proposed back then. But then back then, the people like Musalia Mudavadi denounced the 1.5% increment. But why are they supporting the 3%, which is double what they denounced? That's why I'm saying all these leaders are just playing politics. But before we get there, kindly listen into this video from Aaron CHERUIYOT, then you get to understand that these leaders in Kenya Kwanza are just doing politics. Ladies and gentlemen, just stick by and listen to this video.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very topical issue, one that has kept Kenyans engaged for the last 48 hours since this matter was brought to light. That for the first time since the creation of this world, Kenyans are paying figures that are completely obscene for anyone to pay, especially, Mr. Speaker, if you consider the price of fuel as it docks in Mombasa vis-a-vis the price that Kenyans pay at the pump station, which tells you that the bulk of the payments that we are making as Kenyans is actually taxes. When I was a member of the Committee on Energy, Mr. Speaker, we had considered this matter a couple of times, and we had made tremendous gains on areas where we could make savings and ensure that Kenyans pay a figure that is at least justifiable, despite the fact that we need to raise sufficient taxes. However, Mr. Speaker, as is a tradition with the House nowadays, and even this afternoon, there's a motion. Some of us were bungled out of that committee for asking not very friendly questions. I don't know if Senator Ledama survived, but he used to be my fellow troublemaker in that committee, asking these kind of questions. And it is increasingly becoming the habit of this House where committees are being used, and I'm sorry to say this, Mr. Speaker, to sanitize some of the excesses of government. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, on this particular issue, much as the Committee on Energy can lead us on the question, such is the matter that you invite the Committee of the Whole to sit through, together with EPRA and the Ministry of Energy, to come to the floor of this House and explain. Because, Mr. Speaker, when members of this House retreat to their constituencies this weekend, I can assure you, in every gathering that you will appear, people will want to lynch you because of the price that they are paying, even those who don't drive cars. You have heard that kerosene increased by a whopping 12 Kenya shillings. That has never happened before, Mr. Speaker. And it will be immoral for us as a House to pretend to be discussing any bill, any legislation, without giving due importance to this particular matter. Mr. Speaker, I want to seek your indulgence. that this is not even the matter that you wait for 7 days. Such are the matters that you summon those people to appear in less than 24 hours. Because Kenyans are crying. So many people are not able even to prepare a meal in this city because of that particular cause, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I want to plead with you that much as the statement has been directed to the Committee on Energy, let us have the Committee of the Whole, because nowadays there's a very gray line between committees of Parliament and the Executive. It's no longer possible to tell on which side to draw the difference. We have seen it in many of these committees. And in fact, when you try to appear as a member, as a friend to the committee, you are being chased by some of these chairs that we picked. You cannot tell whether it's a chair of a committee or a PRO for a ministry. So, Mr. Speaker, please invite all of us to come to this house so that we face with EPRA and have the answers on behalf of Kenyans. Finally, Mr. Speaker, just one important note to mention. You know, I've seen Kenyans, including our media, erroneously report that this is a work of Parliament. Yes, Parliament has 2 houses, but let it be clear in black and white that this is a work of the National Assembly. With regards to taxation, Senate has absolutely no role. This is a work of National Assembly. Perhaps if they had abided by the ruling that you were given last year on how you process bills and had allowed Senate to be part and parcel of lawmaking decisions, including on taxation, I can assure the country that things will not have gone this rock bottom. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, invite us. Thank you.
What's your point of order, sir?
Dear viewers, I know you are not shocked. Nobody is shocked. All Kenyans understand that these Kenya Kwanza people are just playing politics. Yesterday, I shared a video from Reuben Kigame, but by the way, I would like to apologize. I made a wrong reference of Reuben Kigame. Reuben Kigame is a lawyer. I've gotten my facts right. Apology for the mistake that I made in that previous video. Many of you have reacted to it and corrected me. I apologize for making that mistake of referring to Kigame, Reuben Kigame, as having come from Rwanda, the Tutsi community. That was a mistake. So apology. I hope you apology accepted. So let's go back to Aaron Cheruiyot. Aaron Cheruiyot is playing politics. Today he requested for Azimio to provide a counter finance bill, but Aaron Cheruiyot doesn't understand that there is public participation, and that public participation is basically to collect views. The views that are collected there are supposed to better that finance bill. So they're not supposed to just fight it. Why is it that they are proposing at the same time they want to make sure that they control the whole thing? Why don't they just allow Kenyans to react? Kenyans have reacted. They should just listen to what Kenyans say, because they cannot just, we can't afford to, be bullied, be bulldozed. Issues cannot just be bulldozed on us like it is right now. So Aaron Cheruiyot needs to understand that this Kenya is ours, and because this Kenya is ours, then we must be heard. That is the list that Kenyans are asking for. Kenyans must be heard. So the fact that Aaron Cheruiyot now supports the increment of everything, whereas previously he had fought that idea when Uhuru-Raila attempted to increase some parts. By the way, the good thing with Uhuru-Raila is that he was a listening leader. Whenever it attempted to increase some taxes, people would cry and Uhuru-Raila would react. But this government is not showing indications of listening to the people. And perhaps this explains why this issue of finance bill is going to be a bitter pill to swallow. I said in my previous analysis yesterday when I talked about Reuben Kigame's reaction that even if CAMARGO decides to play any kind of game, when Kenyans finally decide, then these Kenya Kwanza people will not be able to make it in a re-election. That is the truth of the matter, because God gives and God takes. Dear ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wind up there, but I'd like to listen to what your takes are as far as this issue of Aaron Cheruiyot is concerned. Can you tell us what to think about Aaron Cheruiyot's position as far as that video that I've shared with you regarding what he said when he was attacking Uhuru-Muigai Kenyatta, and what he is saying now that he's supporting Kenya Kwanza, who are doing exactly opposite of what they preached. So dear viewers, stay safe, stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.